Have you ever felt the stinging frustration of being the most logical person in the room, yet the least heard? In our chaotic modern world, we are conditioned to believe that the person who shouts the loudest holds the most authority. However, the Stoics knew a deeper truth. True power doesn't reside in the volume of your voice, but in the surgical precision of your words. Imagine entering a high-stakes meeting, a heated family argument, or even a casual conversation, and with a single, measured sentence commanding the room's undivided attention without ever having to raise your voice. Today, I am revealing 5 phrases so psychologically potent that they compel anyone to treat you with immediate respect. It doesn't matter if you're facing an overbearing boss, a dismissive friend, or a total stranger. These phrases work because they leverage what philosophers call the quiet ego, a concept rooted deeply in ancient wisdom. As Epictetus once said, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that defines your reality. In the art of earning respect, this means one thing: you do not need to react with volatility, but rather respond with a calculated, serene firmness. The Stoics understood that the right words are like arrows, small but capable of piercing any psychological barrier. By the end of this, you'll learn that responding with clarity is far more effective than reacting with emotion. Stay with me, because phrase number 3 is so transformative it can turn your harshest critics into silent observers, shifting the entire social dynamic in your favor instantly. From ancient Rome to the modern boardroom, those who leave a mark aren't the ones who shout, but those who speak with unshakable moral authority. Marcus Aurelius led an entire empire without losing his composure because he mastered his Hegemonikon, the ruling faculty of the mind. He knew that true respect is a byproduct of clarity and self-control. In modern life, it is no different. Whether in a work meeting or a personal disagreement, your tone can be calm. But if your words are rooted in Stoic reason, they carry an undeniable weight. You're about to learn how to align your speech with your character, transforming these 5 phrases into tools of psychological sovereignty that command respect instantly. Phrase 1. I understand your point, but I disagree. This phrase is deceptively simple, yet carries immense psychological weight. It communicates that you have truly heard the other person, fulfilling their human need for recognition, while simultaneously signaling that your own position is unshakable. You aren't attacking their character. You are exercising your prohairesis, your faculty of choice. Picture yourself in a heated discussion where a flawed idea is being pushed as absolute fact. Instead of a reflexive "that's wrong" or a passive silence, you look at them with serenity and say, I understand your point, but I disagree. In that moment, you define a clear boundary. This is the Stoic practice of separating external impressions from internal judgment. You don't need to shout to prove your intelligence. You simply need to demonstrate that your mind remains independent. This approach avoids the friction of ego while leaving a permanent mark of respect on the person across from you. Phrase 2. I don't find that appropriate. This phrase acts as a sudden, firm firewall against disrespect, requiring no further elaboration. It is a direct exercise in maintaining your moral center. Imagine a situation where someone makes a derogatory comment or a crude joke at your expense, expecting a submissive laugh or an awkward silence. Instead of complying, you look them directly in the eye and say, I don't find that appropriate. This simple statement forces the offender to confront their own behavior because it reveals that you possess an inner citadel, a set of standards that are not for sale. Seneca once wrote that he who respects himself is safe from others, as virtue is a shield no insult can truly pierce. By refusing to validate toxicity with your silence, you transform your presence into a sanctuary of dignity, teaching others through your calm refusal exactly where the line in the sand is drawn. Phrase 3. Let's talk when we can do so respectfully. This is perhaps the most transformative tool in your arsenal, acting as a powerful pattern interruption that shifts the entire social dynamic in your favor. When someone addresses you with aggression, raised voices, or interruptions, they are essentially inviting you into a storm of their own making. By responding with this phrase, you are not retreating. You are setting the legal tender of the conversation. You are signaling that your attention is a high-value resource they must earn through composure. In Stoic terms, this is the height of self-mastery. Epictetus taught that while we cannot control the tongue of another, we have total jurisdiction over the psychological environment we choose to inhabit. By calmly stating this boundary, you force the other person to look into a mirror of their own volatility. The immediate silence that follows isn't just a pause, it is the sound of you regaining the high ground and teaching the world how to treat you. Phrase 4. I'd prefer not to continue this conversation. This phrase is the psychological equivalent of locking the gate to your inner citadel. It signals that you have made a conscious decision to stop investing your cognitive energy into an interaction that yields zero value. This isn't an act of avoidance, it is an act of elite prioritization. When someone seeks only to provoke or dominate through pride, they are attempting to breach your tranquility. By calmly stating your refusal to proceed, you instantly reclaim the high ground. Marcus Aurelius taught that the best revenge is to be unlike the one who performed the injury. By refusing to descend into the chaos of a fruitless argument, you prove that your internal peace is far more valuable than the fleeting ego boost of having the last word. In the eyes of any observer, your silence becomes a monument to your strength. Phrase 5. That's your opinion and I respect it, but I don't share it. This phrase is a masterclass in combining courtesy with unyielding firmness. You are effectively separating their subjective fantasia, their personal impressions from your own objective reality. When a colleague or a friend attempts to pressure you into adopting their worldview, you do not need to fight. Fighting acknowledges their power over you. Instead, you grant them the right to their perspective while asserting your own intellectual sovereignty. Seneca noted that being a slave to the opinions of others is the most crowded of prisons. By using this phrase, you walk out of that cell. You acknowledge the speaker without surrendering your judgment, maintaining the relationship while making it clear that your mind is not for rent. It is the ultimate expression of the Stoic ideal, being social, yet entirely self-governed. You now possess 5 linguistic keys to unlock a life of greater authority and peace. Remember, I understand your point, but I disagree. I don't find that appropriate. Let's talk when we can do so respectfully. I'd prefer not to continue this conversation. And finally, that's your opinion, but I don't share it. By applying these with Stoic gravity, you shift from a reactive victim of circumstances to a leader of your own social environment. Respect is never truly seized by force. It is a natural byproduct of a character that remains unshaken by external noise. At Inner Wisdom Stories, we transform ancient philosophy into modern power so you can live with unyielding mental strength. Subscribe now to continue fortifying your inner citadel and tell me in the comments which of these phrases you will deploy first. I look forward to reading your journey toward self-mastery.